Hey friends! Today we wanted to bring you something equal parts fascinating and equal parts terrifying. Yes, I said terrifying.
Oh my god! Ah! Ah! Ah!
So, you know how we love all these classic cartoon characters and how their appearances seem totally normal in the animated world? Well, what if we were to take those cartoons and show you what they'd be like in real life? Seems like it could be super cute, right? Or it could be the scariest situation you've ever experienced, worse than anything in your most horrifying nightmares.
The pen is blue. The pen is blue!
Like it or not, today we're bringing you some of the scariest, creepiest real-life examples of cartoon characters we all know and love. Well, before we give you a severe case of the heebie-jeebies, go ahead and click subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll never miss out on our future videos. And give this video a thumbs up if we successfully ruined your childhood. Let's dive right in. So let's start off with the most classic American animated character to have ever existed in the history of time ever, Homer Simpson. It's no doubt that the Simpsons are a staple of American pop culture, but part of what makes them so interesting is the way they're designed. In the show, it's totally normal since we've gotten used to the couple strands of hair, the bug eyes, the lack of eyelashes, and the weird perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. At least, I think that's what's going on around his mouth. Well, when brought to real life, Homer Simpson will definitely give you nightmares, so just be prepared for that when you go to sleep tonight. Sorry, not sorry. Equally terrifying, Marge Simpson in real life. I mean, there's no doubt that she's known for that tall stack of blue hair, which is not unlike something I feel like Lady Gaga or an equally eccentric artist would do to an award show. But in addition to the blue hair, Marge's facial features and skin are not unlike that of Homer's, and the couple coming to life together as designed by Miguel Vasquez. Okay, so P.S. Hey Miguel, thanks for giving us nightmares for the rest of our lives, is a double whammy of weirdness. The 4 eyelashes on each eye brought to life did make me laugh, I'm not gonna lie. Although he definitely did her a service and added some more on. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants! Also, the cartoon that looks like a complete monster when brought to life. Be prepared to cover your eyes when you see this complete disregard for most people's deepest fears. It's weird enough to think of a literal sponge wearing pants in real life, but the face. Oh, the face of SpongeBob with real skin and real eyes, nose, and a mouth. It's just, well, it's unbelievably scary. It's the kind of creature you expect to follow you home or maybe jump out of your closet as you relax in your bed waiting for your cucumber mask to soak into your face. This is why animated characters, especially those as beloved as SpongeBob, should indeed remain animated if any of us ever want to have a good night's sleep. Ever again. Don't get too comfortable because you'll be looking over your shoulder hoping this next character's real-life counterpart isn't standing right behind you. We're talking about Peppa Pig. Okay, so we know that the little pig has her ways of educating young folk, etc., which is absolutely wonderful. But fans notice that we only ever see her from her profile. Like, we've never seen her dead on. Now that we think about it, it's kind of creepy how she swivels effortlessly from side to side like she's two-dimensional, but that's nothing compared to the utter realization of how she looks dead on. Essentially, when you put the 2 eyes on each side together, you get 4 eyes, her pig snout, and a little smile. Ugh, okay. Well, what did you think about the real-life image of Peppa Pig? Terrifying, or did you kind of always know what she must look like dead on? Definitely let us know in the comments. So then 3D artist Jan Blanco decided to take it a step further and created a visual of Peppa Pig in real life in the future. And my goodness, it's really something. Smoking? Come on, Peppa Pig. We knew being a child star was hard, but we expected far more from you. This next one is just sad. Charlie Brown is a beloved character from multiple storylines, including some where he's the main protagonist, and he also appears in other stories from the Peanuts. Charlie Brown is the underdog, which kind of makes the general public root for him even more, since he's a pretty accurate representation of how awkward and anxious a lot of us feel, which is nice to see in a relatable character on TV. Well, not so nice how Charlie Brown would look in real life. Seeing the image created by Tim O'Brien broke our hearts into a million pieces. Human eyes are already so expressive, so seeing the loneliness in little Charlie's eyes was jarring. But also, the overall, general, not very lifelike features of the cartoon character brought to life create this very, very odd visual that we cannot unsee. Okay, so where are my Sesame Street fans? Seriously, I grew up watching it, and fans from all over the world have expressed their love for this wonderful children's show. But what happens if you bring Bert from the duo Ernie and Bert to life? Well, artist Nacho Diaz created a silicone structure of a real-life Bert. Although it of course bears resemblance to the classic Sesame Street character, it's definitely not something I would have liked to see as a child. Not unlike The Simpsons, the bug-eyed being was fine as a cartoon character, but definitely doesn't translate well into the real world. The single piece of hair that seems to defy gravity coming out of his pear-shaped, super pointy head, we're thinking maybe Bert should just stay in Sesame Street and not come to life at all. I mean, that creepy smile literally gave me chills up and down my spine. Who can forget the classic football-headed freak from Hey Arnold? The favorite Nickelodeon animated series ran for almost a decade, and viewers and fans got sucked into the kind of depressing and dreary world of Arnold and his classmates. But what happens if we conceptualize Arnold as a real person? Well, the results are pretty unsavory, which is also the understatement of the century. So we mentioned Miguel Vasquez and his terrifying 3D creations. Well, Arnold was definitely included in his endeavors, and goodness gracious. Everything about this character screams, please leave me in animated form. The football-shaped head, the two tufts of hair that spout out from either side, only leaving room for the weird miniature baseball cap, which is totally useless, by the way, in between. No thank you! We definitely didn't ask for that nightmare to grace our presence. Side note, we really do love him in the show and definitely don't think anyone should be bullied on any level. And for our last set of real-life cartoon renditions, we're bringing you a triple dose of horror. Ed, Edd, and Eddy. First of all, let's talk about their names. I mean, just because they're spelled differently, goodness, it doesn't matter. Their names are so confusing. I mean, how were we ever supposed to tell Ed with one D apart from Ed with two Ds? I can't. Anyway, Vasquez was back at it again with the nightmarish demonic trio's real-life visual. And if you thought you weren't getting any sleep tonight from the other creations, you were really not prepared for this situation. Ed, Edd, and Eddy were already such weird characters with their shenanigans, inability to walk the straight and narrow, and their insane obsession with jawbreakers. Let's just say I definitely wouldn't have wanted to go to school with the real-life Ed, Edd, and Eddy, and the image here speaks for itself. A huge yikes. So, have we ruined your childhood yet? You are so very welcome. These are just a few characters brought to life that, in all their nightmarish glory, should definitely stay within their cartoon forms. What other cartoon characters have you seen brought to life that are absolutely terrifying? And what other characters would you be curious to see in 3D? Leave us a comment below. As usual, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell as we bring you more juicy info, gossip, and speculation about the shows and stars you know and love. Until next time!